In certain fields there's a lot of competition between facilities, and in others there's not much demand. I think it's very important for people to use a reputable recruitment agency and people who have experience here. And also I think it's important that people need to be dealing with an agency that deals with Western trained doctors, because the salaries that are offered very much depend on what your country of origin is, where you went to university and where you did your clinical training. And this can have a fairly large impact on not just the salary but also the benefits that are offered. I think it's important for doctors with families who are coming here to really look carefully at the benefits being offered, because accommodation here is very expensive and school fees are extremely expensive. So if you have a bunch of kids, then expect that a lot of your salary is going to be going towards the education of your children. So that's something to keep in mind. I would say also look carefully at your contract. In UAE labour law there's limited contracts and unlimited contracts. If you're on a limited one, which is fixed term, and you're not happy there and you resign, you may have to pay back 1.5 months' salary to that hospital, and that's not a good position to be in. So sometimes it's good to get some advice if you need to from your recruiter, or even you need to speak to a lawyer or someone else. It's important to negotiate, not just on the money, but look carefully at the conditions. A lot of contracts have restrictive clauses that if you leave and you can't work anywhere within a certain within the emirate of whatever for a certain amount of time, be careful of some of these clauses because they can cause you problems. Often when people come here, the first place they go is not necessarily the right choice, or it just doesn't work out. So make sure that there's some flexibility, that you can change to somewhere else if you're not happy, because otherwise you can be stuck here and have to leave within 30 days, and it's not easy if you have family and children and animals. And the other thing I'll say is about licensing, that the licensing can be very quick, or it can take 9 months or more, depending on what your specialty is and which part of UAE or Saudi Arabia or wherever you're going. And the requirements are often convoluted, confusing. So just be aware that there can be delays in the start of your job because the license itself is delayed. So don't necessarily have a definite start date, because it really depends on when your license is granted, and that's outside the scope or outside the control of the employer.